Joining me in the Room podcast to talk about his next fighting opportunity happening at CES 73 on Friday, May 12th, is Mus'Aib Baiyina. What's up, my friend? Welcome to the show for the first time, and pleasure getting a hold of you, bro. How you doing?
I appreciate you having me over here, man. Feel good. I'm ready to go.
Well, my man, less than 2 weeks to go, and you're ready to make your third trip as a professional in the CES cage. You fought for them a couple of times, started off your professional career with them. How excited are you to get in there, back for CES, and on Fight Pass again?
I mean, it's a quality opportunity to take. First couple of fights didn't go my way, but I went against the best people available every trip. The first fight I went up a weight class to 205 to fight Yuri Panfarov, who was the number one guy in the Northeast. So didn't go my way, but I felt like I can definitely win that fight at some point in time if I want to fight him again. But they also let me know that I'm a 185 or so. Next fight, I fought Frank Collins, great fight. Up and downs, could have went either way. It just went his way that night, but I'm looking to correct everything come May 12th.
Excellent,
CES
my man.
73.
Well, before we get into that last fight and the leaps and bounds you've made into this training camp, getting ready for this fight, let's start from the beginning, my man. How did you get into martial arts? Were you an athlete during school as a kid? How'd you get into the MMA world?
Yeah, man. I was really young. I started Taekwondo and karate around 6 years old. I had a really, really great instructor. He was like a father figure to me coming up through Taekwondo, and I did that all throughout grade school. Once I got to high school and kind of wanted to play other sports and play football or whatever, but I had a really great base in Taekwondo. Taught me a lot of great things, not only in the sport, but just being a man and carrying myself and how we need to do this to be a pure martial artist. So I did that. Then I ended up wrestling throughout high school. I wrestled in New York State, so you wrestle in New York, especially you wrestle in Section 5. I'm saying? We got some of the best people out of Section 5, i.e. Des Green, Gregor Gillespie, you know. I mean, just New York State, just in general. I mean, it's the best when it comes to wrestling. So I did that throughout high school. Also played some football and all that. Once I felt like I was done with football, I played like semi-pro and Marine League, stuff like that. I was like 21. I just started, and I'm like, I'm go full force ahead on being a mixed martial artist. I had, a couple good bases already at a very high level, and we're going to start to work and mold and put all those things together. And I think, last year was kind of like the culmination of me making the next step to being a professional. But yeah, like I said, I think I can be one of the best in the world because I've done it for a very long time. It's just putting everything together, and like I said, get to restart and show something off May 12th.
Excellent, my man. Well, as you spoke in the beginning, you fought a couple of beasts. Yuri Penvarov, number one on the East Coast, number one in New England. He's heading to the Contender Series most definitely this year. That guy, he's elite in jiu-jitsu, in boxing, and kudos to you for taking that as your professional debut, man. Heading into CES, how did you decide that CES was going to be, where you made that professional debut?
First thing I knew they reached out to me a couple years back. Um, it kind of just like fell off, and I took a couple more amateur fights, won a couple more titles as an amateur. So good thing is I fought good guys. At the time I was supposed to fight them as an amateur, and once I got to feel like okay, I had a really good win against a really good guy in my last amateur fight, viral knockout. I was like, all right, so we all thought it was time to make that jump. So I was number one or number two when it came to New York and the Northeast when it comes the 205 and 185, whatever. So I'm the type of guy, I want to fight the best available. I think he was number one or number two coming out too. Yeah, I know he's undefeated, still undefeated as an amateur and as a pro. So those are the fights that the big guys, Uncle Dana and them want to see. You want to fight the best, and how you going to do against the best. So like I said, that fight looks good for him for going against me, and if I won, it would look good for me going against him. Like I said, they're gonna look at that fight. I feel like I'm still to this day probably one of his best challengers, on at least on paper, and they're the big guy's gonna look at that and say, okay, he's fought some good guys already.
Yeah.
So I felt like CES was a good place. They're on Fight Pass. They treat me well every time I go there, and like I said, I'm gonna hopefully be able to treat them well May 12th.
Well, my man, I was at that last fight you had with Fran Collins, who, coincidentally enough, fought for the CES middleweight title his last way go round. Had a great scrap in there, came up short. But that was another beast you went against. And like I said, I was at that fight, and I was very impressed, man. You had your moments in that fight. In that fight, what do you think was kind of the edge that he took that fight over? What could you have done differently in that fight to get your hand raised?
It was a couple of tactical things that I did, that I didn't employ, or we just kind of let him do. Um, but like I said, yeah, I did have my chances. He had his chances too. I always feel like I can knock out anybody. I have that type of power. I have that type of speed. I have that type of precision, and I can feel like I can sub anybody too. I got good ground game. I work with some good ground people. Um, at Synthesis, I mean, one of the best guys. I mean, working with John Piersma, who's freaking like nasty on the ground. Great work on the ground, and then Jake Bone, great work on the ground. Just a great fighter. Just a fighter at the highest. Or Elvis. We talk him, man, freaking Olympic level wrestler. So it's a whole bunch of good guys that I've worked with, and then also I've been able to travel around and work with a lot of different people. Go down South Florida, work with the Black Zillions. I know it's kind of it's back rolling. Working with Brian Fury, Rashad Evans, um, getting just great knowledge from them down there. And then this last camp, I pulled a little smooth move and went up north of the border, went up to Montreal, and got some work with TriStar too. So
George St. Pierre's gym. No shit,
yeah,
man. Wow,
yeah,
you,
man.
you are getting around.
CESP, man. That was crazy. I like I said, I wasn't able to work with him, whatever. He just pulled up. He just works like anybody else in the regular class or
Yep.
whatever. But hey, that was pretty cool to see. Just working with everybody, like working with Rashad Evans. It just I've been blessed. I've been blessed. So like I said, I just want to be able to go out there and do what I know I can do, and what they see that I can do.
Well, going back to that fight, my man, it looked like Fran didn't want to stand with you. Every chance he got was to shoot in, try to take
Yeah.
you down, and kind of make you tired. And that's eventually what it kind of looked like. It didn't look like you were a beaten man. It just looked like you were a tired man in there. Going into that third round. In this training camp, getting ready for this fight, the dude you're fighting in John Ciampa, a
Yeah.
little less record, but still comes out of a great camp. He's from Boston, so you're going to be going into his backyard. What have you been working on, in this camp? Probably everything, I would imagine, but are there some specifics that you are, really getting details at to, not make that happen, what happened in that last fight?
Crazy thing is, like, I don't really get tired. I think I look tired though. I definitely look tired when I watch it back. But like I said, I've been doing strength and conditioning. I actually, when I went down for camp a couple camps ago, I was working with the Phil Daru team down there. So Jose was my main trainer down there. So just I went down there so I can get and acquire a lot of that like that muscle just that muscle work, so I can be able to last a little longer. And then I got good win. I got good win. You muscle stamina. Yeah, thanks, Horse. I appreciate that. Yeah. But yeah, for this camp, I see he's gonna be more of a grappler. I already assume everybody's gonna try to take me down. They're not gonna want to stand with me. And the crazy thing about it is, I've had a few fights, and I personally don't believe I've been able to show off what I really can do standing up, or what I can really do in a total fight. Um, I think a few fights ago in the amateurs, it kind of showed a little bit like what I could be, but like I said, we just been sharpening up everything, everything: hands, feet, clinch, cage work, wrestling, ground game. So just picking up on where I left off in the last fight. Like I said, it's disappointing outcome, but it's not that disappointing because you get to figure out what can you add to your game, and put it out there and show for the next performance and ones after that.
Well, this is going to be your second professional fight as a middleweight.
Yes.
Looking back at your amateur career, your last fight as an amateur, you captured a title. I think that was for heavyweight. And looking back in the beginning,
It's 205.
I think you fought at welterweight too, right?
Yeah. So it's my third fight. Well, second and third fight. Yeah, I was fighting, trying to get to welterweight. I just couldn't get there. So had some catch weights that were closer to welterweight. But yeah, once I fought for a title for the supposedly the 170 title. I didn't succeed at that, and then kind of just went back to the drawing board, figured out what was right and what was wrong, and then came back at 185. So uh, my whole career as an amateur at 185, I'm undefeated, and I got finishes and stuff. So yeah, 185, 170, 205. I was just ready to rock, ready to roll. It didn't matter.
Well, as far as synthesis, I know you talked about or Elvis, John Piersma. How long have you been training with that camp?
Oh man, since they were in the basement.
Oh, no shit. So you've been with them
So
for.
so yeah, they was there years ago. Yeah. I mean, I was originally with this team called Elite, out of Rochester, and then that kind of just did its own thing, and like I just wanted some more jujitsu knowledge, so they said go over there, work with Synthesis and Casey and all those good guys over there. So that was a few years. So I'll drop in and then add something to the game. And definitely work with those guys.
And
See,
Bone,
they were working three different gyms.
yeah.
That's a Yeah.
Now Bone MMA, do you go there or does Jacob come to Synthesis and you get you work some rounds with him?
Both ways, both ways, both ways. Shoot, I was there a couple weeks ago. Had a big sparring. They had some guys come down from Watertown. Um, got some good rounds in. So, but yeah, I definitely go over to Jake and we get some rounds in over there, man. He's great to go with. It's real fast, real twitchy, real good guy, good guy to go with, man. Like you want to fight, he's down to scrap.
Well, that's
For
that
sure.
that that's a fun
Jake
that's a
kicks and ball too,
yeah.
man.
That's a fun guy to scrap with because you have that, you have that karate background and Jacob, his stand up he has a lot of those kicks and a stance that way when he's in the pocket and doing his striking game, man. So that must be
Yeah,
fun to watch you guys go at it.
yeah, he has great lead leg, great lead leg. Like it's really a martial arts lead leg. He can do some crazy things with that. So it keeps me on my toes for sure.
Well, before we get back to Synthesis, you talked about your coach there. Where's this camp right now that your coach is helping you out with the dialogue in the back?
Coach Hoss, man, is down in Hornell, New York. Vicious, Vicious Elite, ISKA, head coach.
Now is I would imagine he's your corner guy, right? He's the one that gives you instructions
Yes,
there.
sir. Yes, sir.
So my man, going into basically the Boston area, you're fighting out of your territory in someone else's backyard. When you fought at Fran's, against Fran Collins, the crowd was basically on his side, man. Is that something you invite? Do you like going into the enemy territory and trying to
Oh,
spoil the party?
I don't care, man. Just close the door. We gonna fight. It can't help you. Like it is what it is. Like it is what it is. Because if I go out there and I boom you, then they're gonna be on my side. So it's just it is what it is.
well, all right. To get back at the camps, a lot of these guys that you mentioned, Hicksonbaugh, Jacob Bone, John Piersma, they all have fights coming up, man. Is
Yeah.
that really your benefit to be able to be training with guys that are full throttle and getting ready for their own fights? Is that really help you in training camp?
Yeah. I've been able to catch some of them in training camp. Like I said, last couple weeks I was up in TriStar, so I was able to work with some really good guys there too. Yeah, I also worked with that man. That had a crazy head kick knockout, man.
Yeah,
Come back. Heck, yeah, that was sensational. So, um, and that's a big guy that can freaking move around, man.
yeah.
That guy can move around, so he keeps me on my toes too, man. You don't want to get hit by him, man. Um, but yeah, just working with all those guys, get good rounds, good sparring. Liam Anderson, we had freaking a heck of a spar yesterday. Um, yeah, just like when they're rolling, and I think when everybody's rolling at one time, man, it kind of like momentum for everybody is kind of just going. So, like I said, we had a few guys fight over the weekend, guys and girl, and got some dubs out of there. So it's gonna be somebody that's gonna be fighting this weekend from out of Vicious. It's gonna be a couple guys fighting out of here. Four. Um, so I mean, when everybody's training and everybody's got that goal to go out there and compete at a high level, perform at a high level, and bring home a win, it just makes it easy to train and be motivated. Not that I need any more motivation, but you know,
Well, my man, we're less than 2 weeks away from this
yeah,
fight coming up, bro. As far as John Ciampa, what do you know about this kid? I think he only has one pro fight, a win, a finish in that fight. He comes out of a great
yeah,
camp in Trifecta with a lot of good Muay Thai fighters coming out of that. A lot of good wrestlers also. What do you know
yeah.
about this kid and about his game and studying his last fight? What do you see out of him?
Yeah, I mean, his last fight wasn't too long to study. But I seen ground game. I seen a guy that was that just came forward. Just he's played his jujitsu game against a guy who really didn't have that much jujitsu. Um, but looking through his history, I mean, this guy he's fought some years ago. So he I believe he's trained. You can look at his physique and everything that I feel like he's a focused person and he's been able to kind of go and get to the point that he is right now. Um, I think it'd be a decent canvas and be able to go out there and do some work. But I expect him to come fight for sure.
Well, 2 weeks left here. Well, under 2 weeks. What's left in training camp now? When is is the foot pedal to the metal sparring? Is that kind of tailing off? When is the last like heavy day before you have to work on the weight cut and going over the essentials and the game plan for the last week?
I mean, we looking good on weight right now. Not too far off. We went heavy. I went heavy last night, so felt good. Had some good rounds. Like I said, had a round with Liam, had a round with Piersma, had a round with Relvis, had a round with Hicksonbaugh, had a round with a couple other guys too. Uh, yeah, just getting those hard rounds in. I was getting crazy hard rounds in at TriStar too, um, with some really good guys. And yeah, we're gonna throttle back. He really ain't no throttle back. No, I don't even know, man. But you still gotta work. You gotta work.
Yeah.
You gotta work. Gotta work. You gotta be smart. Can't be stupid. No, I'm not gonna be taking no shots to the head now. For sure.
Yep.
But definitely had a good sparring yesterday. Um, you start getting ready for the weight cut in a couple days. So but it should be smooth and easy.
Excellent, man. Well, a couple more questions about this, man. You had your two pro fights in 2022. This is your first one of 2023. How busy are you looking to stay, during the year? Coming out of this fight unscathed. How busy are you looking to stay, the second half of the year?
Hey, definitely want to stay busy. I feel like I can come out here and execute and do everything that I'm supposed to be doing. Uh, Come out unscathed, God willing and all. Hopefully, I can get in there another two months.
Nice.
And then just keep the rinse and repeat, pretty much.
Nicely said, man. My man, as far as who will be making the trek with you, you mentioned your coach there. You got any friends, family going to be bussing down, taking a caravan down to come watch you fight? Or they're going to be sitting on their couch eating popcorn, watching the fight pass?
If they want to come, they come. I stopped doing that many fights ago. I just put it out there, and you pull up, you pull up. Don't ask me about no tickets, no nothing. Just you got the link. You got the link to either the fight to watch it, or you got the link to go get the tickets. But usually some people pull up for me though, for sure. But yeah, I mean, it's cool though. I'm going to enemy territory, so I don't really care.
Well, my man, we can't
I
wait to
come to
watch
chill.
it, bro. Fight Pass, it's going to be huge. I'll be doing a fight companion from here, so I'll be calling your fight on this end from our fight companion, man. So, last question before I let you give your shout outs and sponsors, man. What do we expect to see from Mus? Is it Mus or Muse?
Moose.
Moose. What do we expect to see from Moose at CES 73 on Friday, May 12th?
Expect me to win.
Simple
Expect
as
me to
that.
win.
Simple as that.
It's like I said, man. I feel like it's a moment right now where I got to pull out the fire. So expect me to win.
All right, my
Fantastic.
man. My man, a pleasure getting to know you. We'll definitely get a word after the fight, about the results and where you're going next and, what you're looking for next, man. Love the guys from Synthesis, from Bone. Now, you're introducing me to your coach. You got some fighters there. I can get some words with them down the line, man. So,
Yes, sir.
yeah, pleasure, bro, getting to know you and, seeing you work that last fight live, man. It was a great scrap. Showed a lot of heart in there. And, man, you got some skill, bro. So I can't wait to see what happens on the 12th, my man.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to show some more things. I'm excited. I'm excited to win, man. For real. At the end of the day, I'm excited to win, and excited to put on a good performance. Uh, I kind of got that feeling, you know. I know, like last couple fights, I know when I'm gonna win. Last couple fights, like I felt like I can win, but like I sometimes you just know when you're gonna win. You don't know how it's gonna happen, but you just know.
Well,
So,
you put in the
and
hours,
it's
man.
no, it's no shade on the opponent. The opponent's just the canvas that's there. Uh, it is what it is. I gotta see him. I gotta meet with him for 15 minutes or less, and then go about our lives. Hopefully safely and gracefully, and back to our families and our regular home life. But I gotta be me for 15 minutes on May 12th.
Well, my man, I can't wait to see it, bro. And good luck in there, man. Have a ball. And with that said, my man, shout outs, sponsors, social media, thank yous, anything you want to say before I let you go and finish the tail end of your training camp.
Yeah, man. It's Moose Baiyina, Mus'Aib Baiyina. Pretty much on everything. Man. Hopefully, I get famous enough. I can just use Moose MUS. You know? But yeah, that's pretty much on everything, man. Shout out all my gyms. Y'all already know. 585. Shout out 585. Always got to shout out to Rock. I got some good sponsors too. Experience Live Events. Um, Project Lean Nation, getting me lean. Uh, Shout out my gyms. You got Vicious, Elite, Hornell. You got Synthesis Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Got Jake Bone. Working with Jake Bone. Like I said, I work with the Black Zillions down south. I work with TriStar. So hopefully everything comes together, culmination.
Well, my
And we
man,
get there.
like I said, a pleasure getting to know you, and we'll definitely catch a word with you on the other side, my man. So you have a great rest of the training camp, and we'll see you in less than a couple of weeks, my man.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me. I
All right, my
really
man.
appreciate it.